Okay, let's go ahead and open up the doors to our waiting room, or the waiting room. We've got a full waiting room. So let's open up the doors to the meeting. We are here live on Zoom on the Daily with Doc show. And my name is Becca. You are watching Daily with Doc and Becca, and I am excited to be and honored, really. Yeah, I'm honored to be the host of this program where we bring empowering information that allows you to make wiser decisions on what, one, could be the best option for you, and two, add a little more common sense into what goes in is what the result you're going to get out. And if you keep putting the bad stuff in, then you can't expect anything different. Well, on Daily with Doc, we talk about things that matter most when it comes to your health, your wellness, and what you can do as an empowered individual to take control of your health journey. Now, this program is being sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. We are a collection of health coaches, certified holistic health coaches, and also those that are health advocates, just really who have found the importance of nutrition and the message that has been researched and taught by the doctor that we host mostly on this program, who is the doc of Daily with Doc. And folks, I myself had a lot of stuff going on where I thought I was eating right. I was going by what I was told was what was going to manage my health. Well, I didn't want to manage my health because I was in really bad health. How can you want to manage something that is not ideal? Well, folks, you continue to do the same thing that is managing poor health, you can't expect to feel fantastic. And that's a little bit about what we're going to be sharing on today's show. So if somebody shared this program with you, make sure that you get back with the person that shared this program with you. If there is no one to thank, or you are here because of an email, you can respond to that email. Or if you've never spoken with anybody about the doctor we have on with us, Dr. Joel Wallach, or the products, or pharmacist Ben Fuchs, then feel free to give our call team a call at 855-949-3377. Again, that's 855-949-3377. And this number are for those who have never tried the products, never spoken with anybody, to get you in touch with a health coach. Now, on our website, we also have that contact option, and we have questions at dailywithdoc.com if you would like to submit a question to be read and responded to by Dr. Wallach on the program. So without further ado, I am honored to be able to bring to the screen with me the man who helped me figure it all out and get off that downward spiral deeper into not a way I wanted to be when it came to my health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Dr. Wallach, welcome to Daily with Doc. You have been at this a long time when it comes to looking at things that just aren't quite right in the human body, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, behavioral, all of these different aspects. You actually started experiencing some of them yourself at a very young age, and you figured it out. And I don't think you figured that one out on your own. Somebody directed you, and you continue to do it. 75 years in the making. So thank you, Dr. Wallach, for never stopping, not giving up on humanity or anyone else. What do you have to share with us today?
Well, today, again, I want to talk about longevity and health related to longevity. I I first realized I had a problem. I was 3 years old because they were going to put me in one of these insane asylums because I was very bad behavior, and they
You
tried.
weren't just a mischievous child?
No, I wasn't just a mischievous child. I was worse than that. And so they were going to put me into one of these um, institutions where they're going to study you. Okay. And that didn't sound too good to me. So I started eating the things that our calves on the farm were eating. And in a week's time, I cured myself. I was only 3 years old. Then when I was 9, they were going to put me away again because I was really getting bad. And at 9, I had all kinds of tools to hurt other people and myself and this and the other. And so I started eating animal food again. And in a week's time, less than 2 weeks, I cured myself. Okay. So I realized that there was something going on with the food. Okay. And now 75 years ago is when I was 9. In a couple of months, I'll be 85. And the basic information hasn't changed. So let's look, and this is stuff that came out just what less than a year ago. Okay. And it has to do with institutionalized monitoring of longevity and health and all that kind of stuff. And let's see, at that time, Hong Kong was the longest lived of all the human societies. Number one, Hong Kong. Their life expectancy is 85.83. Number 2 was Macau, 85.51. Those are years. Okay. Japan, number 3, 84.95. Switzerland, how they get in there? They weren't Asia. Number 4 at 84.38. Let's see here. Singapore, back to Asia. Number 5, 84.24. And then Italy, number 6 again, 84.20. And South Korea, back to Asia, is number 7, 84.14. Okay, Spain, number 8 was 84. Let's see here. It looks like 80. I don't know how they got in there at that point. It's just a little mixed up. Okay, then 80. Let's see here. Number 9 is Malta at 83.84. And Australia's number 10 at 83.75. Now, I could go on, but when you look at the top 100 cultures, and this is a worldwide study on longevity and aging and that kind of stuff, okay? And this, which I say, was looking.
So these are 2023 numbers, Dr. Wallach.
That's correct. 2023. And we're just like halfway through 2024, and things haven't changed. In fact, we rank 47th. You heard it. We rank 47th out of the top 100. There's 53 other countries whose people live longer than us, and our life expectancy is 79.74. The life expectancy of our emergency room doctors is, I think it's 56.8. Okay. Or maybe 58.6, one of those two. Okay. And it's one of those things where you have to say things have gotten really bad here. In the old Bible, Adam lived to be 930. Noah lived to be 950. Methuselah lived to be 969. Look, I think so here. Okay. And so it's one of those things where you just have to say, okay, why are we so low? That's because we may be eating the same recipes as other people. We're not getting the same stuff. Because in 1882, okay, we began to get electricity. For 3,000 years before that, this is when people lived a long time, but it didn't happen everywhere over the world. There were some places where people didn't do very well. The Hunzas right now, they're way above even our number one, which is Hong Kong. The Hunzas, they live to be 120, and many people in the Himalayan mountains, where the Hunzas come from, and the glacial milk, okay, they live to be 130, 140, 150, and they don't have a single doctor. They don't have a single medical doctor. They have herbalists and, they have grandma and all that kind of stuff. And so we've got a lot of work to do, okay, in getting on the right track. We have the same physical body as every human on Earth. We have the same physiology, the same defense systems, the same blood system, the same hearts and livers and kidneys and brains and so forth. But nutritional minerals, which are 2/3 of our 90 essential nutrients, do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. So you may be eating the same thing your grandma ate, and she lived to be 111, and you died at 67. Why, when people ask, well, why did Frankie die at 67? He ate everything his grandma ate. Yeah, but he lived 4 states away from where she lived. Different soil. And plants do not make minerals. They make vitamins, but they don't make minerals. And minerals make up 2/3 of the essential nutrients we need to maintain and defend ourselves. So that little bit of information, I'm going to kind of move on here and show you what's going on currently here. Obesity. Of course, this goes on with the metabolic syndrome, abdominal obesity. 40% of Americans are obese. 18% are severely obese. 43% of obese people in America are males. 41.9% are females. Obesity is defined in America over 25 pounds over their ideal weight for their height and age and so forth, okay? And then, when you look at the numbers, it has to do with the lack of nutrition, and it's called pica, P-I-C-A, pica. And this goes along with the metabolic syndrome, okay? Obesity is one of the first things they say when you have metabolic syndrome, you have abdominal obesity. Diabetes, the second thing you have when you have metabolic syndrome is diabetes. Let's see, there's 37.3 million cases in the USA, 11.3% of the American population, 96 million pre-diabetics in the USA. Annual cost just to treat the symptoms, not to prevent or cure it, is 342 billion. 342 billion, okay? All right. In the Philippines, the population is only 109 million, okay? They have 3.7 million cases. 100 die each day in the Philippines from diabetes. Diabetes is the 4th leading cause of death in the Philippines. By 2030, 7 million cases, 1 in 5, are predicted to be diabetics. Okay. Next is, again, Alzheimer's disease. We spend $345 billion a year just to treat the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease, not to prevent or cure it. Arthritis, we spend $626.8 billion a year just to treat the symptoms, not to prevent it or cure it. And osteoporosis, okay, which is kind of the pre-runner to arthritis, in a combination of the United States, Canada, and the European Union, the 3 of these communities together spend each year just to treat the symptoms of osteoporosis, $6.5 trillion. So you add the $626.8 billion to that, and we spend $7 trillion a year just to treat the symptoms of arthritis and osteoporosis. It's crazy when you think about it. 19.6% of women have osteoporosis and arthritis, and men, 4.4%. Okay. Now, our Parkinson's disease went up by 50% a couple of months ago. For years, we were getting 60,000 new cases each year in America of Parkinson's disease. This last year, we got what? Oh, 90,000, went up 50%. It's a simple nutritional deficiency. Okay, it's a problem with the white matter, the myelin, the brain, and spinal cord. Okay. Then I want to go back to common diseases of osteoporosis of the skull. Number one, loss of the sense of smell. Number two, loss of the optic nerve atrophy, ONA. Cranial nerve number three gets squeezed by osteoporosis of the skull, ptosis, pupil not responding. Cranial nerve number four getting squeezed by osteoporosis of the skull, double vision. Let's see here. Cranial nerve number five being squeezed is trigeminal neuralgia, very painful stuff in the face. Cranial nerve number six, double vision, strabismus. Cranial nerve number seven, the seventh cranial nerve is Bell's palsy, one side of your face droops. Cranial nerve number eight, being squeezed, tinnitus, deafness, vertigo, Meniere's disease. Cranial nerve number nine being squeezed, loss of the gag reflex and taste, sense of taste. Cranial nerve number 10, gastroparesis, COPD, hiccups, and atrial fibrillation. That's a spread. Cranial nerve number 11 being squeezed, loss of trapezius, the ability for your muscles to raise your arms because let's see here. The spinal cord is being squeezed there as well as cranial nerve number 11, cranial nerve number 12, atrophy of the tongue and speech. Okay, now we came up with a book. Okay, it's called It's All in Your Head. And each chapter is one of the cranial nerves. It goes into all the things you're going to see when that cranial nerve is being squeezed when you have osteoporosis of the skull. And a normal skull in a human being is a quarter of an inch thick. When you have osteoporosis of the skull, it's 1.5 to 2 inches thick. Encloses those tunnels that the cranial nerves go through from the brain, through the skull to the outside, to go to the various places of your face and your body and all over the place, your organs and so on, muscles and bones and joints. These tunnels in the skull are closed by 80 to 90%. There's a chapter for each one of these cranial nerves. We do have a CD that covers the squeezing of the spinal cord. And it's like amazing. We have pictures of all this stuff in the book. It's all in your head. Okay.
Kind of like these pictures, Doc?
I'm sorry, say again?
Like these pictures?
There you go. You got it. Yeah. The top one's a normal skull. Top of the skull has been removed and the camera's looking down on the brain. You see the skull's a quarter of an inch thick. The bottom picture is again, the top of the skull has been removed. The camera's looking down on the brain, but you see the skull's 1.5 to 2 inches thick. So you can imagine the tunnels that those 12 pairs of cranial nerves in the spinal cord are going through are closed by 60, 70, 80, 90, 95%. As a result, you're going to all these specialists and they're treating the symptoms with cortisone and that kind of stuff. They're not getting rid of, they didn't know anything about osteoporosis of the skull. We're the ones that introduced it to the medical community. There was osteoporosis of the skull. I was seeing it by the dozens every month, but I was doing all these autopsies. And it was never in the clinical work, but I was seeing it in the autopsy. Never in the clinical work, but always at the autopsy. So thank you
So
for
I have a question, Dr. Wallach, because I get this question quite a bit.
Mhm.
How come this picture up here shows all the kind of the crevices and the gaps and everything of the brain? I mean, that you look at that and it's like, oh yeah, that looks like a brain. But this is just like gray matter. And there's no definition. Why is that?
no nutrition. Okay,
No
you need
nutrition.
nutrition to make the myelin in the brain. Okay, and that's why we came up with the I-26. When I saw these pictures, we had to come up with a new healing thing for the brain as I-26. Okay, and I-26, of course, is one of those things where there's so much stuff going on in the brain that I-26 was the way we had to go. We had to come up with something that was going to fix the brain and the spinal cord. And sure enough, I-26 was it. And the I-26 comes about like
The
this.
I-26 is a hyperimmune egg powder, Dr. Wallach. How does that touch the brain?
Okay, we have to appreciate that the myelin, the white matter of the brain and spinal cord, ranging on the spot you're looking at in the spinal cord in the brain, it ranges from 35% to 85% myelin. Okay, the myelin is 35 to 85% that egg myelin. Okay, And of
Is
course,
that the cholesterol?
yeah, it's cholesterol. The liver converts the cholesterol into myelin. And I like these soft chewables. I take 2 or 3 of these twice a day. And I like the French vanilla. They also come in banana coconut, which is, I think, the more popular ones, the French. Okay. Um, and so,
So without nutrition, the brain is kind of like mush, especially when it's all squeezed together because the skull is thicker and
yeah,
it looks like it's
it goes from
going.
myelin. It goes from myelin, which has many, many functions, okay, to just fat.
Okay.
It can't
Because it
maintain itself.
looks like the thickness is going in because it's not uniform and it's kind of smashing and putting pressure on the brain. Am I looking at that right?
Yes. Yeah, it's moving in so that the volume inside the cranial cavity is reduced. Okay. And again, not getting the nutrition, the circulation into the brain is cut off. And so the brain is slowly dying. So it converts from a useful myelin into just fat. And so when they say you're a fathead,
Well, thick skull can be a sign of, strength, but in that case, thick skull is not a good thing. But how does all of this relate to like metabolic syndrome and longevity?
okay, well, the same thing that your skull and your brain needs, your heart needs, your lungs need, your liver needs, your digestive system needs. And when one segment is kind of going away, all the other segments of the body are being impacted. Okay, so it's not unusual for people when they have the metabolic syndrome to have 25 to 50 different deficiency diseases. Now you go back 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, everybody was putting the wood ashes from their wood and coal fires, okay, into the gardens for fertilizer. They knew just by accident when they threw the ashes into the garden, the plants grew better, okay, because of the minerals that were in. They didn't know there was the minerals in there, but they knew there was something in the wood ashes and coal ashes that made the gardens grow better. And when they ate those wood ashes and coal ashes in their food, they lived longer and healthier, stronger, and were healthier because they were resisting diseases because the wood ashes and coal ashes had the minerals in it. And that's how people were getting their minerals 500, 300, 1,000, 3,000 years ago, was from consuming the wood and coal ashes.
So when you're burning the wood, the minerals don't just burn up also?
No, minerals don't burn up.
Okay. So they remain in the ash that is
That is
is
correct.
left.
Yeah, that's one of
All
the
right,
nice things about
interesting.
minerals. See, minerals, or when you're talking about protein, those are carbon compounds. And you burn protein, it's like burning any other fuel. But when you burn plants that have minerals in them, you're burning the carbohydrates, okay, and the sugars in the plants, and the ashes are the minerals that were left because they don't burn.
Thank you very much for explaining that, Doc. Did you have more that you wanted to go on about longevity? And you had mentioned we're 47. So there's 46 other countries that have better health than we do. And I'm looking at those that are above us so 47 United States, 44 Puerto Rico, 43 Costa Rica, 42 Kuwait, 41 United Arab Emirates, 40 Bahrain, we've got Maldives, Chile, we've got Qatar. I mean, not all of these countries are like first world countries.
Okay, well, here's the deal. They're eating seaweed. Most of these countries have coasts and they're eating seaweed. They're also burning the seaweed and getting ash from it. And their ash is a salt. And so their salt isn't just sodium chloride. Their salt is sodium chloride and all the minerals are in the seaweed.
Okay.
That was the
So
first
more,
that
they're
was the
getting more
first
minerals than we are.
that was the first nutritional supplement in the history of humanity was salt from the sea. And the people on the coast would burn the um, they'd go ahead and burn the seaweed. They'd take those ashes and burn them again. Okay, get rid of all the organic stuff and just had salt and maybe 50, 60, 70 different minerals in that, and they would sell it inland. And that's why people live so long, because they're getting all this salt with all those minerals in it. Okay. Well, then when they started purifying, quote unquote, the salt, so it was just pure white salt. Okay. Instead of that brownish salt that was sea salt, they weren't getting the minerals anymore. They were just getting sodium chloride. And so
So the minerals were being stripped
that's correct.
from salt. Okay.
So that's,
And
if you look at these countries that live the longest, they tend to be countries that have large coastal areas compared to the amount of dry land. Okay. And they eat a lot of um, um, plants and animals from salt water. So they're getting all the minerals are in that salt water. And of course, all the glaciers on Earth are draining into the oceans and the lakes and the um, so forth. And people who eat the fish and the seaweed and all that kind of stuff from those areas and drink the water from those things, that's how they're getting their minerals. They don't know that. That's just where they live.
or how they're irrigating their crops
That's
to
right.
grow.
You're irrigating their crops with the high mineral content water.
Oh, that's awesome, Doc. And you know, you mentioned a lot that kind of the trigger that switched health had to do with electro dams. And dams have been put throughout the world to control water, but that also controls and eliminates the amount of minerals that get distributed.
Downstream, that is correct. Yeah,
And
up above,
how is that, Doc?
upstream, they still have the minerals, but downstream they don't. And that's why we have a loss of animal species in the oceans and coastal animals and so forth, because we've shut off the supply of the minerals to them. So they're dying of all these mineral deficiencies just like us.
Interesting. I'd love to look sometime at like the map of the United States and where the diseases are and how that goes down through, because like the water from the dams are flowing for the most part north to south. And as things are being cut off and those dams are, you know, keeping the minerals and the silt from flowing downstream, how health is affected farther down. That would be something interesting to look at,
Yeah,
Doc.
well, yeah, it is affected by the dams um, because upstream from the dams, they have more minerals. Downstream from the dams, they don't.
So if you're eating food that's grown in those specific areas, that should contribute to showing, you know, how healthy your food really is.
That's correct. So even if you're eating the same recipe, well, I'm eating the same recipe as my twin brother, and he died at 27, and I'm 40, and I'm still going strong. Where did he live? Oh, he lived in a place in Texas. Where do you live? Oh, I live in Canada. Oh,
So which one are you saying has poorer health or worse health? The Texas brother or the Canadian brother?
no, the Canadian brother had better health. In
Oh,
fact,
better health.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So when you look at the where people live a long time, the ages, okay. I thought I had them on the table here. Oh,
Well,
here we go. Here we
it,
go. Yeah,
go ahead.
Canada. Let's see here. Canada. Oh, Canada ranks 19th. They live to be 83.02.
That's
Canada would be 19th in numbers. We're 45th or 47th,
7th.
47th. Okay. Canada's 19th out of the top 100. We're 47th. We live to be 79.74. And the Canadians live to be 83.02.
Wow. That's quite a difference, Dr. Wallach.
The big
And
difference.
we're neighboring countries. Neighboring countries. Wow. Well, we have hands up and we have questions, Dr. Wallach, that have been sent in via text message, also emails, and also here in our live Zoom room. So folks, if you'd like to join us live on our Zooms, we are here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time. And it's super easy to join us. Just remember, dailywithdoczoom.com. So if you go to the address, the URL address or the domain, www.dailywithdoczoom.com, you will be connected with our Zoom at the time. And you can only connect at the time of the show. So that's 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time. And Dr. Wallach, out on YouTube, Joe just wants to say thanks to the doc for bringing my stomach back to normal. No more carbonated drinks for me ever again. So Joe, you heard the information, you took action, and Dr. Wallach, why would just eliminating carbonated drinks help somebody's health?
Okay, well, here's what happens when you drink carbonated drinks, like, soft drinks and that kind of stuff. Um, the carbonation neutralizes the stomach acid, so you cannot digest food or absorb minerals. And that's the big problem. So that's why when we came up with our Rebound, our sports drink, we have the powder, okay, in the little sticks, okay.
Yep.
We do have the cans if people want it, but if you're going to drink the cans, I urge you to pop the tops on them at night, put them in the refrigerator with the top open. They'll off gas, the carbonation will be flat in the morning, then it'll be safe to drink.
I still think the powder tastes better.
Yeah, I like the powder.
It's not quite as sweet. I like things that have good flavor and not overly sweet. And I know some people just love that sweetness of the cans. So you guys can have the cans. I'll take the powder, and we'll be healthier together. Dr. Wallach.
Yes.
Next question. So Tammy lives in the Pacific Northwest, and she has this question wanting to know about having too much vitamin D in her system. She just had some tests that showed that the vitamin D levels were elevated. What does that mean? So vitamin D, the natural form, comes from the sun. Pacific Northwest, we're talking Tacoma, Seattle. They don't get the most sun in the world, Doc. I mean, it's coming through the clouds, I guess, but what would cause elevated vitamin D levels?
People who eat liver, because vitamin D is stored in the liver.
Okay.
Okay.
The
And
liver's good for you.
yeah, of course it is. It does lots of things. It stores vitamins and minerals. It does 50 different things. And when you don't have a happy liver, you're going into the what should I say, the metabolic syndrome. Okay. And then one of the things about the liver, when Marlon Perkins brought me back from Africa, where I was working on the White Rhino Project, he gave me a list of things he wanted me to do. He wanted me to find out that all these different species of the bears and all the zoos in the world were dying of liver cancer. But none of the other animals in the zoos were dying of liver cancer, just the bears. So I knew it had to be something very, what should I say, common amongst the bears, because none of the other animals had it. Well, the things that was common against the bears, they were selling peanuts at the front gate of the zoos or make money to run the zoos. And people would throw the peanuts at the bears. The bears would stand up on their hind legs and wave their front paws to say, throw me the peanuts, throw me the peanuts. Well, the peanuts were grown in the ground that are contaminated with aflatoxin, which is a mold, okay? And the aflatoxin is the toxin that's in the mold. And same way with barflies. The bartenders give the barflies free peanuts to come drink at their bars, and they get liver cancer. It's very common for barflies to get liver cancer. And they say, oh,
Oh,
it's
the
the
flies.
alcohol in the beer. No, it was the peanuts they were eating.
All right. So is that the same? Is that the same like toxin that's in like day old bread and stuff that
Yes,
they would also feed to animals?
yes, same thing.
Interesting. Okay, so how does that elevate vitamin D levels?
Well,
We're
vitamin D
talking
levels.
liver.
Well, vitamin D levels, plants can accumulate vitamin D3. Okay, all animals, regardless of species, save vitamin D3 in their livers for when winter comes, and so on. And of course, as soon as I knew that that the liver cancer was only occurring in bears, I knew it had to be some common thread. Okay.
So how would we correct having too much vitamin D in our blood, Dr. Wallach?
Well, you can wear some of these skin things, put rub the skin stuff on to, cut off
But
the.
like I said, Dr. Wallach, she's in the Pacific Northwest.
Mhm,
Heavy overcast,
mhm.
lots of rain.
Okay,
I
well,
lived
she's getting
there.
vitamin D. Then if she's getting vitamin D3, it's because she's eating liver.
Okay.
And so instead of eating a couple of livers, from the fish, she should maybe eat just half of one instead of three.
Okay, so I don't eat fish liver. But that's where you find your EFAs, right?
Hmm. Well, the
So
liver does many things. It stores all kinds of nutrients, vitamins and minerals, essential fatty acids. The liver does 50 different things.
I understand that. Absolutely understand that. Well, let's go to the first hand that is up. And just a reminder, folks, if you would like to ask Dr. Wallach a question, make sure that you use that virtual option to raise your hand, because I don't see when you're holding your hand like this. But if you raise your virtual hand, then I do see it. And we will get to your question in the order that it was raised. And we also have some other questions coming in as well. So first, let's go over to AJ. AJ, what questions do you have for Dr. Wallach today?
Dr. Wallach, good to see you today.
Hey, good to see you, sir. What's going on?
I got a buddy named Mario who's 69 and he's about 265 pounds and he's 6'1", and has an aneurysm. Believe in aorta. He's on a number of medications for cholesterol and blood pressure, etc. They mentioned that the aneurysm's getting a little larger. In my opinion, he's significantly underdosing any nutrients that he is taking. He's wondering, does he have to quit smoking to get rid of the aneurysm? And is there anything that he can do to help him with the aneurysm and to quit smoking?
Yeah, he should quit smoking because it's very inflammatory for the blood vessels, the heart, the lungs, the brain. Okay, so he's got to get rid of the smoking. Then, let's see here, 265 pounds. I want to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And then I want him to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs for months, maybe 3 even. If he's really in danger and he's going to the doctors all the time and they want to put him in a hospital or something, I'd go with 3 of the healthy brain and heart packs. If not, if he's still functional and going to work and all that kind of stuff, he could take 2 healthy brain and heart packs, take a full dose of thing twice a day. Then I want him to have the, let's see here, the Ultimate Daily Classic. Take 3 of those 3 times a day. And that's going to support healthy blood flow through blocked arteries and support healthy blood pressure and help the kidneys function better and getting rid of all the bad stuff in the urine. Okay. And then it also needs the glucogel to rebuild the walls of the arteries, which is the same stuff that tendons and ligaments are made out of. Elastic fibers, you need some copper, which is in the healthy brain and heart packs. And for energy, instead of colas and soft drinks, that kind of stuff, he needs to use the Rebound or sports drink. And again, I'd go with sticks. Was it 25 or 30 sticks in a box?
Yep,
30.
30, yeah, 30 sticks in a box. And I like to drink 2 of those a day, kind of mid-morning and mid-afternoon. You don't want to drink it after dinner because you'll stay up all night. Okay. But yeah, aneurysms are easily healable, easily manageable with these nutrients.
Thank you, Doc. I got another quick question from
Yes, sir.
one of our team, Yvonne Ray. She wants to know if the body cell salts, or the sea salts, or the plant-derived minerals are better. Many believe it is as good as plant-derived minerals. What may be the difference of the sea salts and these? Because they're kind of claiming that they're just as good as our plant-derived minerals.
Well, I'd have to see the analyses and compare the analyses. Okay. But you just can't take sea salt and solve your problems. You need all 90 essential nutrients. And this is where people fall short. Well, I did this and it didn't work for me. Well, did you take the 90 essential nutrients? No, I just took that one product. Okay. They need the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. They need to get the Ultimate Daily Classic. They need the Healthy Brain and Heart Packs. They need the I-26, get the brain and spinal cord working right. Okay.
Thank you, Doc.
You bet. Thank you, sir. All the good work you do.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, AJ. And I just want to do a quick little shout out and thank everybody for joining us here, watching Daily with Doc. Whether you're out on YouTube, Rumble, Brighteon, listening on Spotify, Vimeo, Roku TV, Apple TV, where else? So many different places, listening on iHeart or Spotify. Folks, if there is a way to let us know where you're at, whether it's liking, subscribing, make sure that you do so. And most of all, share this information with somebody else. You never know whose life you could be touching just by sharing a little bit of information. Now, of course, it goes more than just sharing. People have to, you can lead them to the water, but that doesn't make them drink. But at least you did your part in allowing them to have knowledge that they may not have had previously. So we want to thank you all who are doing that. As our lists are growing, we do have an email list. If you go to dailywithdoc.com, find a way to sign up for our email list and submit questions there. So again, that's dailywithdoc.com. You'll also find Dr. Wallach's Good Foods, Bad Foods list, which he has not mentioned the whole list yet today, but you'll find that list in print. You can print it off and take that with you when you go grocery shopping, focusing on the good foods and not putting those bad foods into your cart. Let's go to another question that came in, Dr. Wallach, and I've got a mama. She is concerned about her son. 3 weeks ago, he was diagnosed with HPV positive throat cancer. P16 positive is what it's saying. And he is 53 years old, 196 pounds, 5'10". He's not frequently sick. He does want to boost his immune system, of course. He does have problems like staying focused, and he's exhausted all the time. And he does have some thyroid issues, Dr. Wallach, but he's not on any medications for blood sugar or blood pressure. So,
okay. So his complaint for us to deal with is the throat cancer, correct?
that is what they're wanting some answers for, Dr. Wallach, some
Okay.
solutions.
Okay. Well, I don't know if he smoked or chewed tobacco or what, or eat fried foods. There's a reason why you get throat cancer. Okay. And so whatever it is he's doing to initiate the throat cancer has got to stop. None of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bran, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. That one's got to go. No smoking, no tobacco chewing. And then at 195 pounds, I want him to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, full dose everything twice a day. I also want him to take the, let's see here, I'd go with the Beyond, let's see here, oh, excuse me, the Ultimate Daily Classic. Go ahead and take 3 of those 3 times a day. That's going to help him with anti-inflammation and also bringing more healthy blood circulation to all his tissues, including his throat and tongue and digestive system, including the esophagus and so forth. And then I think he should get some more stuff for relieving the inflammation in his throat. Okay. And he can do that with the CM cream. Apply that to his throat. Okay. Underneath his neck here. Apply it to his neck and the back of his neck. And that's going to help him reduce inflammation and pain and so forth. And let's see here. What else would you give, Becca?
Well, in that CM cream, I would mix something that's has anti-tumor properties to it, like an essential oil, like frankincense would be a good one. And that CM cream is just 2 ounces. And if correct me if I'm wrong, Ruth Ellen is our aromatherapist that we have with us, but would that be 16 drops of frankincense, Ruth Ellen? To 2 ounces?
2 ounces. Let me check and I'll be right back.
Okay, thank you so much for that. But yeah, there's a lot that we can do, Dr. Wallach. We don't have to like
yeah, and again,
kill off cells of the body.
For energy, you know, again, he can have for energy, go ahead with the rebound, okay, and that's you know, use these sticks so it's free of the carbonation, and it's a great way to get. He can take it 3 times a day. Okay.
Also use the canister, which has even less sugar, because I know with certain conditions, sugar feeds that condition, which we don't want to feed it. We want to starve it, right?
That's correct.
How about the fucoid Z and the Z radical, Dr. Wallach, with that fucoidin? I know there's a number of studies that have been done with fucoidin that attach themselves to certain cells and then suffocate those cells out.
It is 16 drops.
16 drops. Yay.
Yay.
Thank you so much for that. So 16 drops of frankincense essential oil, and you want to make sure that you're getting a quality essential oil. I have found the best essential oils are provided by the Longevity Company. So make sure that you get back with the person that shared this program with you, and say, hey, I want to get some of that, because it's more than just for the condition that we're working on. So look it up and get some more information about essential oils and the therapeutic benefits that they offer to you as an individual to help improve health as well.
Also, I just want to interject that CM cream is really going to get that essential oil into the body really well. Very absorbable.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for adding that in there. Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next hand that is up, and we have Mark. Mark, go ahead and unmute yourself. You're on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, how are you, doctor? How are you?
How can we help you?
How are you, sir? I have a question. I've been reading the book Let's Play Doctor, and there you say, for example, for alopecia specifically, you talk about zinc at 50 milligrams. But you along with that, you put TID. What does that mean? It's like 3 times a day?
Yes.
Okay, but it's 50 at the morning, 50 at the afternoon, and 50 at night, or 50 in total?
No.
What?
53 times.
Oh, okay, 53 times. Okay. Okay, that's cool. And I have another question. What do you think of because nowadays it's pretty trendy, let's say, the ketogenic diet? What do you think it's helpful alongside with the 90 essential nutrients, of course?
You know, the ketogenic diet, of course, eliminates a lot of the things that turn into bad things. Okay, and did you say TID or BID?
TID, I say.
That's 3 times a day.
Yeah, yeah,
3 times a day. BID is twice a day.
yeah.
Okay.
And what do you think about the ketogenic diet?
Well, I've always been thin all my life, and so I haven't participated in that personally, but it's very well used all over the world. Help you burn fat, and it's one of the things that the metabolic syndrome, people have abdominal fat, and so the ketogenic diet would be helpful and useful to them in addition to all the supplements they need to take and this, that, and the other, if you have the metabolic syndrome.
Yeah.
And if I may make a comment on the ketogenic diet, is between the 90 essential nutrients and the ketogenic diet, that's how I was able to lose 100 pounds. It worked for me.
You have a fabulous story. We're very proud of you.
Well, Dr. Wallach, it was actually fairly easy to incorporate the good foods, bad foods list in there, with some exceptions. But removing those bad foods made a big difference in getting healthier, not only losing weight, but you can be thin and unhealthy.
It's true.
And I was big and unhealthy. So now I'm getting where I want to be. But those are great questions, Mark. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. You are the best doctor I've ever seen. So thank you very much.
Thank you for all the kind words. God bless you. And, share your story with other people. Your story will help a lot of people.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, Mark. And let's move over to Courtney, Dr. Wallach. We've got a few minutes left here. Courtney, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry. Hi, Dr. Wallach. How are you today?
Okay. How can we help you?
Great. I have a client who is 64 years old. He's 5'8", 64 years old, 5'8", 164 pounds. And he just got diagnosed with A1C for his blood sugars. He's made a lot of adjustments to his diet. He's not overweight. And he wants to know, what should he do? And he's a very healthy eater, although he does have some gluten in his diet.
Okay. What symptoms does he have with the A1C?
Nothing. Oh, well, his other physical symptoms are he's had trouble sleeping pretty much his whole life. He is on a statin and on melatonin and duloxetine for depression. But other than that, it was just coming back in the blood work over the last 2 years. And finally, the doctor's like, no, you're right there. Let's get you on medication.
Okay. All right. Well, you have to appreciate that if the doctor is well informed, he could be classed into the metabolic syndrome. Okay. With hypertension, blood sugar issues, depression, sleep apnea. So at 164 pounds, he needs to get rid of all the bad foods: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, brown, rye oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. The diet one's got to go. And then needs 2 bottles a month of the Ultimate Daily Classic. Take 3 of those 3 times a day. That's going to deal with blood flow, blood pressure, the blood sugar. I want him to have the sweeties. He can take 3 of those twice a day for the blood sugar. That's going to help there. And to bring that into normal range. These are all simple nutritional deficiencies, none of them are genetic. And of course, we have a sleepies. He can go ahead and take some sleepies before he goes to bed. Okay. And for the depression, I like the A1C. Or excuse me, go for the I-26. That's what I'm saying, I-26. Go for the I-26 for depression. That's going to help rebuild the myelin, the white matter of the brain and the spinal cord. And again, stay away from all the bad foods, but go with the I-26. And at his body weight, he could take 3 twice a day, or 3 times a day. Whatever his finances will allow him to do. And we have the capsules in the I-26. We have the powder. I like the chewables, but you know, a lot of people like the capsules, a lot of people like the powder. Okay, and then you know, contact us every couple of weeks because his array of problems with the blood sugar, sweeties is going to just almost overnight. I think people who are type 2 diabetics for 25 years and just in like 30 days, they're totally not a diabetic anymore. Okay, don't stop your medication, but as your blood sugar drops, you can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. Okay, and you're going to have a great response. So do give us a call. People are wanting to know whatever happened to that guy Courtney. Okay.
Courtney's the coach. She's not a guy.
Oh,
So, but thank you so much, Courtney, for that. And one thing that I had added, Dr. Wallach, because depression was something that I had struggled with, is I had added the de-stress, and that really helped with symptoms that are commonly associated with stress as well.
how many
So
did you
that's
take a day? How many did you take a day?
2 twice a day.
Okay, very good. There you go. Thank you so much for helping this guy, Courtney.
Now, Dr. Wallach, we've got 2 more questions. Let's try to fit them in. Pamela wants to know what can be recommended to help a friend with polyneuropathy. So we're working with somebody who's got poly means multiple, right? Neuropathy.
Okay, neuropathy is inflammation of the nerves. Okay, so they need to get rid of all the bad stuff. They also need to get on the healthy, let's see here, take the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, 1 per 100 pounds body weight per month. If they weigh 130 or less, it'd be 1 Healthy Brain and Heart Pack per month. Cut it in half, have a dose twice a day. If they weigh 150 pounds or more, that's 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs a month. Okay, and then the polyneuropathy part of this, again, I would go with the I-26, and I would also go with the CM cream topically for pain on the joints and muscles and neck and back and so forth. And let's see here.
Glucogel, Dr. Wallach, helped me as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Glucogel would help rebuild the cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue in the joints, and also the disc in the spine and neck. Okay.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt
All
to
right.
get a hold of that book. Get a hold of the book. It's all in your head, because the odds are, if they've got polyneuropathy, that means that they've got osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing those 12 pairs of cranial nerves and also the spinal cord. Okay, the book, it's all in your head.
Thank you, doctor. Do you have time for one more?
Well, let's do one more.
All right, so Rita, go ahead and unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, love.
She's still there?
Yep, she's here. I see her. Look up. My beautiful friend Sarita. Can you unmute? Uh-oh. I'm sending you a request to unmute. And it's just not wanting to do it. Oh no. Text me, Sarita. We'll get you an answer. All right. Well, Doc, I guess that is it. Unless, one second, one more try. It's not going to work. I don't know why, but sorry, Sarita.
Next time.
But next time. That's right. Next time we've got tomorrow. So I'll bring her question to the table tomorrow once she reaches out to me with that. And if I could get my co-hosts on the screen. Dr. Wallach, thank you again for another great hour of information that gives us more tools in our toolbox to be able to help ourselves in making choices on what we should and should not be putting into our bodies. I know there was somebody that had commented her husband was in the bar industry and was drinking soda water and realized that he was having some abdominal issues, digestive issues. She remembers hearing you mention something about carbonation. He quit drinking that club soda or that carbonated soda water, and his digestion got better. Imagine that. Just like the doctor said, Well, today we have on with us, and I could not do this show without them. I am so, so very grateful to be able to surround myself with people who have the passion to help bring this message to the masses. We have Marilyn, who is, we call her Fingers. She's just a fantastic typist, and she does the transcription here in the live Zoom. So that's one of the greatest benefits of being here live with us, is being able to see how she is taking the information that Dr. Wallach is giving us and putting it in black and white right in print. And we have Sherry, who helps with the technical side of it and getting things set up before the show. Ruth Ellen, who keeps us organized and on task, who also helps with the technical side of it and watching all the different platforms. We have Albert and Marty. Okay, that's Marty behind him, joining us from South Africa as he's helping to let people into the Zoom room and keeping an eye on the cameras. Thank you so much, Albert, as it is 10 o'clock p.m. right now in your time. And we have AJ, who is our tech support. Something goes wrong, he's on it. He's got it fixed, and he has helped get us on all of the different platforms, including the TV channels. And I want to do a special shout out to Dave Michaels, joining us from KSCO and KOMY as he continues to broadcast Dr. Wallach's message on the airwaves there, which this is available for more people. So if you're listening and you want to include the Daily with Doc show in your radio programming, make sure that you reach out to me. Go to Becca at dailywithdoc.com. That's Becca at dailywithdoc.com, and I'll make sure that we get the information you need in order to syndicate this program as well. And if you have a podcast and you would like to host Dr. Wallach as a special guest on your podcast, use that same email, Becca at dailywithdoc.com, and we can schedule something for you as well. Thank you, everybody, for investing this time into helping yourself and your family get more information on what you can do. Just want to do a shout out. We've got Hunter out there saying, God bless Doc and the team. Thank you, Hunter. Olga saying, thank you all. I know she's joining us from England. We've got Dave. Thank you, Dave. You are awesome. Yvonne, I mean, so many different peoples, and that's not fair because I can only see who's on with us on YouTube. And I know that we've got a lot of people on Facebook and YouTube and Rumble, and we love you all. Doesn't matter where you're joining in from us. Thank you for taking the time, because together, as we're helping ourselves and helping our communities, we can make a difference in the world. Oh, and we're also on Twitter and LinkedIn. Thank you, AJ. So many different places. Find us, like us, and share the message. Until next time, my name is Becca Dukes. You've been watching Daily with Doc. Go to dailywithdoc.com, find our replays, and also a store with the information that, or the products that Dr. Wallach has mentioned on today's program. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.